Hi, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from Mason Works Marketing on Conscious Business Zone. And today I'm so excited to introduce you to Noel and Bob. And I have to tell you, I met them. I'm not even sure. Oh, I met you when I did a healing event with one of the healers I used to work with. And we right away hit it off like family. And you were going to love these guys. They're just amazing, amazing people. They created a thing called the Co-Creators Convergence. And I have been going for the past 5 years, I guess, was that my sixth or fifth? I don't know. Anyway,
your sixth.
Oh, my sixth year. And the Co-Creators Convergence is something that if you are looking for a conscious community that would connect you with people all over the world, you want to know about this group. So hi, Bob. Hi, Noel.
Hey, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. Wonderful to be here.
So I love these guys. I would love for you, Bob, if you would share about what Co-Creators Convergence is, and then I'll ask a couple of questions so we can fill it out so people get more flavor. Okay?
Wonderful. Well, thank you. And thank you so much for letting us be a part of this today. This is a joyful opportunity for us. I'll give you the elevator speech of Co-Creators Convergence, but I think our conversation over these coming minutes will be flesh out much more about the spirit and the energy of what this community is. Because it really wasn't Noel and I that created it. It was Spirit that created it with a number of people. We happened to be there at the beginning, which is so exciting for us. But, so the elevator speech would go something like this. The Co-Creators Convergence is a heart-resonant community of uniquely gifted souls dedicated to embodying and amplifying our collective consciousness, thereby co-creating a world that works for everyone. We do this with great love, compassion, and joy, honoring all realms of creation to accelerate the awakening of humanity.
Yeah.
That's the elevator.
Yeah. And I did put
Well, I want to jump in here.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
please. Well, I just wanted to show everyone the website address so that you can check it out and see about it while we're talking if you're interested. So, okay, sorry, Noel, please continue.
Well, I just wanted to give a little backstory about the Co-Creators Convergence. And the backstory is that Bob and I and about 30, 40 other people studied for a year with Barbara Marx Hubbard. And it led up to an event, an international event called Birth 2012. That was on December 22nd, 2012. So there was December 21st was the doom and gloom day. And so Barbara said, hey, I have an idea. Why don't we claim the next day, December 22nd, which happened to be your 83rd birthday, as day one of the new humanity. So that family was forming. Just think of, these little molecules, and, we're all kind of buzzing together for a whole year. We had 3 retreats for Barbara Marx Hubbard, with Barbara Marx Hubbard. And at the end of that, we had the big celebration. Everything was over. Bob and I have been living in our RV. We'd gone to all 48 states and Canada, given up close to 100 presentations, trying to tell people about Birth 2012. And along the way, we went to Sunrise Ranch in Loveland, Colorado. So we met the emissaries of Divine Light there. And so the year is over. We're exhausted. We're tired because we did all of that in what? How many months?
5.5 months.
Wow.
20,000 miles.
Yeah. We're all self-funded. We made our own appointments. We got into every state. And so anyway, we were exhausted after that. And actually, my mom passed like within, 2 weeks of the end of Birth 2012 celebration.
Wow. So
then we were called, the humanities team is actually in our story because they have the Spiritual Leadership Award and in Colorado at Sunrise Ranch. So the good folks at Sunrise Ranch called us and said, hey, why don't you all have a retreat? And because a lot of Barbara Marx Hubbard students, and at the end, we will, Barbara will receive her award. So there were about a half dozen of us, Bob and myself, Ron and Victoria Friedman of the Vistar Foundation, Linda Rosenthal, and Reverend Marsha McCartney. The 6 of us said, okay, because we didn't know anything about creating a 3-day retreat. What'd you say?
Not us, not you and me. Ron and Victoria had experiences like that, and so did Linda.
And so did Reverend Marsha.
Yeah.
So I guess we were the networker, and so that we came together. We had an event at the end. Not only was Barbara Marks Hubbard honored, but Steve Falk came in, of course, the director of Humanities team, and he brings in Neil Donald Walsh.
Right.
And so the 3 of them gave us 3 hours of talk, and it was an amazing event.
It was.
And so everyone said, we got to do this next year. We got to do this next year. So that's kind of how we were.
And in the ensuing years, when we met you.
The very next year, we met you.
Because,
in fact, it was during the floods in Colorado.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, that was an interesting event.
That's right. Thompson flood. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, so you dropped a couple names here. You dropped Steve Farrell, who's already been on Conscious Business Zone. You dropped Neil Donald Walsh and Humanities team, which I worked with for 3 years. And you dropped Barbara Marks Hubbard, which if some people don't know her, Barbara Marks Hubbard is quite an amazing being. She is talking about the new human, this new conscious being that hopefully we're all evolving to be, that co-creates. So it all fits. Now you kind of said real quick about the 48 states. I want the people here to understand that Noel and Bob contacted unity churches all over the continent of United States and Hawaii, and scheduled and showed this video with this optimistic, positive message in 48 places or more. And they did it just because they were inspired to do it. Part of the reason the co-creator convergence is so wonderful is they met like-minded, magical people in every one of those locations that wanted to play. So this is a compilation of amazing people that are so gifted, that are so magical, that you really want to meet. So with that, how else would you explain?
Let me just add to that, if I could, for your next question, because as you're saying that, it reminded me of a couple of our stops. And I think this is an important message for all of us that are a part of this new awakening of humanity and the growth of consciousness. I'm thinking of a couple of places. I won't demean the state or the location, but I'll say when we were in Fargo, North Dakota, and when we were in Western Louisiana, you know, the people that were hosting us there were Barbara's students. And we had to ask them the question, what is it that feels conscious about this area? I mean, so the Midwest, and the Louisiana host says, well, this is the Bible Belt. And, they may protest outside of our location if we showed something about conscious evolution, and which they didn't. And so what we learned from that is that there are awake people, caring people, compassionate people, people that want to, provide for their spiritual growth and share that and invite others to do the same everywhere. You can't put a label on someplace that says, I'm the Bible Belt, I'm the Midwest, I'm this political leaning in our state or whatever. We're everywhere, and good things are happening everywhere. And it's one of the important things we learned on the journey.
I'm sorry that Be Live is not acting up correctly, but I want to tell you what's on. Barb Bonamasso says, love to all. James Sibbett says, I love you 3, hooray. All is we Freeman, you know who that is, Jonathan.
Oh,
thank you,
Jonathan.
With a big heart. And Ruth Oakes, who I love, says So there may be more coming. I don't know why Be Live's not letting me show it. I apologize, but I wanted you to know that there are people on that are cheering your work on, and that's why I wanted more people to know about this. It's so fabulous. Some of the people that came last year are very high energy healers. And quite honestly, they felt alone. They didn't even know that other people thought like they thought, or were on a mission for the good. And so there's quite a bit of that soul family feeling or support that you get when you meet these people. That I know my first co-creators convergence, there was a process, and I sat down next to somebody, and we both just looked in each other's eyes and started crying. I mean, it just burst out into tears. There was this soul level recognition, and we're still dear friends. We talk every week, if not more than once a week still. She lives in Florida. So these relationships that you make are, they power you to really show up fully and not be afraid to do that, because there's a lot of us opening up and sharing our gifts, and we need to support each other.
Indeed. In fact, as you say that, Kathy, it reminds me, were you going to say something?
Okay.
That it reminds me that I'll drop a little vulnerability bomb here and say that when we did the first convergence in May of 13, for myself, I felt like I've never done a quote or had a leadership role in a quote retreat or activity or spiritual gathering of any type. So who am I to do that? And also over the course of the last 6 years, like you said, not just last year, but along the years, we've had some people that are amazing and that have their own following. They're teachers and healers and others. And so it was an opportunity for me in my first year, particularly, to have an upper limit issue of saying, I shouldn't be the one doing this. But I have to say that when the circle comes together, as you just described your first experience, that those who do have gifts and responsibilities they're sharing with the world as healers, authors, speakers, teachers, and those that aren't doing or wouldn't consider themselves doing any of those things, they all belong there. Because if they're called to be there, they belong there. Right. And so we'll talk a little in a while about how the convergence itself, the live activity takes place, and everybody has an opportunity to participate. But I think that's a very important point, is that no matter where in the world and no matter what your gift is that you think you're sharing or you don't even know yet that you're sharing, there's opportunity in this community.
Right. And I just want to underline there, Bob, is that you don't have to be an author, a speaker, a spiritual healer, or anything. It's really, we just say there's a willingness to be in a co-creative field. And if you come with that, and the magic happens.
Right.
When we gather, it's never one person is more important. They're in front of the room and you're down here and we're taking lectures and we're listening. It's not there to quote learn. It's really an experience where you get to be in a co-creative field, and we always come there with a plan, an agenda. We call that agenda A, and then there's agenda B, and that's what unfolds. And it's like B as in B-E, and that's as in the letter B. And that's where the real fun is. And we meet in circle. It's not set up front of the room, and we're inside, we're outside, and it's in the most beautiful setting there at the Sunrise Ranch, a 350-acre organic farm that's been there and outside of Loveland, Colorado. Started by the Emissaries of Divine Light in 1945. So it's one of the longest running intentional communities, spiritual communities in the country. Right. So you get to be in that environment too, which lifts us up. And it's really a place where, even if you are I find that some people that do put on, event after event, they love to come because it's a place where they can just put their hair down and be, in the field with us.
Right.
So
Right.
it's all welcome. You don't have to have any special skills.
Oh, no.
Or,
well, I'll be glad to tell you some more about the Co-Creators Convergence. What happens with the Co-Creators Convergence is depending on the theme for the year.
Waiting for the host. Boom, there she is. It's magic.
Depending on the theme for the year, different people offer to share their processes to help move you. And even it's a very experiential is the only word I can use for it, but it's more than that. It's a loving heart space where you look at your choices and then can choose a different choice in a supportive environment. Some of the processes are just fun. Not all of it is heavy, serious stuff. It just depends on what's happening. But all of it's life-changing because it expands your awareness of what's available to you. So it's not like going to a workshop where oh, I better do my homework and all of this. It's the people and the energy and the heart. You just walk into the room and you feel like you're in love soup, basically. So there's been years where there's been 35 people. There's been years where there's been 64 people. So it's not a huge group. It's not hundreds of people. It's an intimate environment that is quite remarkable. So thanks for coming back, guys. My soliloquy here.
That's good because the screen was black with you, but I'm glad you were still going. Okay, good.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I would just want to say something about the quote agenda. I say we come with agenda A. Well, because this is a co-creative event, each year we have a different theme. Our first year is You Are Not Alone. The second year was about being family. We've had galactic themes. We've had Gaia themes. We've had heart themes. This year, Bob, would you like to tell us?
This year is the voice of co-creation is the theme, pathway to truth. So there's the opportunity to look at that through the view of the throat chakra, through the am I speaking my heart? It's the opportunity to talk about truth with compassion. It's the opportunity for us, that is to say, pathway to truth, meaning our individual truth, not that there is one truth that we're all supposed to go find or seek.
Right. So, and what happens is that as you register, and registration is open now, you can go to our website, co-creatorsconvergence.com. You can also find it on the Sunrise Ranch. Registration is open, and we charge a modest fee, I believe. It just we have what we call a group of weavers. So what happens is that we, as a group, decide what the theme is for the next year, and then different people in the circle say, I'd like to contribute something on that. And so as soon as you register, you will receive a welcome letter as well as the opportunity to contribute to the agenda. What would you bring that's relative to this topic that you would like to share? Right. And, we've had people, it's not about having a polished presentation. We had one woman who came from Alaska one year, and she wanted to work on her spiritual comedy routine. And so we had gave her time to do that, and it fit very well with our theme. And and some come from very polished fifth dimensional teachings and coaching, and they shared something from that. Actually, she's going to be coming this year, I believe. So we put out the topic there, and then that's your opportunity to say, hey, I want to jump in, and know that you'll be in such a supportive space.
Right.
And people, they're going to be like 100% of the people are going to get you. Now, how often does that happen?
I've had a real blessing here the last couple of days. We're working on a 2-minute promotional video, invitational video, I'll call it. and with the folks at the ranch in their video department. And so I've had the opportunity to look back through the 6 years, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photos from our events. And I got to tell you, it is so amazing to do that and to see the people and remember the processes and activities, remember the breakthroughs, remember the hugs, remember the love, remember the support that took place. It's just been truly amazing. And I looked at our first photo of our first group photo, because it included Barbara Marks Hubbard and Neil Donald Walsh. And I said to Noel, in that group of 35 people that year, one person has since passed on to the other dimensions.
Wow. 2
of the people that were in the picture have since gone off to the other side of the world together to have a life together, and now have a 3-year-old son. And so they've been in partnership for all that time since the first Co-Creators Convergence. And I just look at how this has expanded, but also am remembering the memories of the significance of the event for all of us.
Right. And I also want to put something out there into our collective consciousness, is that this is not just for people our age. This is for all generations.
Right.
And we really like to have a greater intergenerational. I know we have a mother and daughter coming back for their 3rd time this year. The daughter's just graduating from high school. So she's been coming for very mature, very connected to source. And then we also have had a father-son. And sisters. So we really are, and we do give a discount duration, because we are really trying to encourage them. So even if you don't have a son or daughter you want to bring, just a young person that you would say, I like to expose you to something, just know that they will be, surrounded with love and have quite an experience that I think they'll never forget. It could, I know for the mother-daughter team, it's just blown the doors open or taking the roof off.
I want to interject because I can't see the comments, but I can go to Facebook and see them. Jade Rader's in the house, and she said, "Woo, it's true. The people do get you. Aloha, everyone." And and I wanted to add something else. The first year I got to go to Co-Creators Convergence, I was asked to help do the testimonial videos at the end, because it's hard to market this incredible experience, because it's hard to put it into words when you get your heart to break wide open in a safe space when you're and co-create with other people. And one of the ways I like to explain it is at the very end of the first one I went to, I was videoing people for testimonials, and several other people, I couldn't capture the video with the lights on. I had to turn off the lights and capture them as they were glowing white, radiant white energy from their head, and we couldn't capture it. So I want people to know that's the kind of beings that come. The other thing I want people to know is this is very inexpensive. The staying at the ranch is the only real expense. The Co-Creators Convergence, is it $150 early bird or
$175 early bird this year?
Okay, so
till April 4th.
For this many days of top level experiences with incredible beings, there's no cost to it. That's a couple of dinners out. So it's unbelievable the service you do. And also I wanted to let people know, if they wanted to get to know you a little bit better, that about the third Thursday conversations. Could you talk about that, please?
Sure. On the 3rd Thursday of every month for about 5 years, or maybe a little bit more, we invite someone who has either attended our event, the Co-Creators Convergence, or wants to bring somebody to introduce to us. I know, Kathy, you have brought us many great guests to our call. It's Thursday nights, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time for 90 minutes. And it's very informal. It's by Zoom. We always reserve like the last half hour, 45 minutes for interaction with the guest. And this month we're having David Carshare, who is the spiritual director at Sunrise Ranch. So yeah, it's that's a wonderful way. I just want to get in here that our event used to be two and a half days or 3 days.
I think the first one was 3 days, and now it's up to 5.
So it's going to start at noon on June 12th through the 16th. And that's a Sunday.
Wednesday to Sunday.
Wednesday to Sunday, noon to noon. And when you come there and stay, I don't know if you've been to Sunrise Ranch before, but it's not a fancy hotel resort thing. It's like having a dorm in the country. Very and it includes 3 amazing meals. You will be so stuffed with the best food because most of it is a working ranch. So they have their own chickens, their own cows, their own lambs, they have 5 greenhouses. So the food is prepared by a professional chef. I've never had a complaint about the food. It's been like, and that's all included. You can also camp there. So if you don't want to be in a room or a dorm room, which I think is very reasonable, you know, when you count that you get lodging and food for the amount that you pay, you can also camp. And we've had people who, I think we had
campers,
2 or 3 campers last year.
Yeah.
And so it's just a wonderful environment. And we always open up on the plateau, up on the mesa, with a amazing fire and ceremony there. So it's a very special event. And you know, if you're hearing the call, you know you're supposed to be there, right, Kathy? It's not, you know, if this resonates with you, we'd love to have you. And I just want to say that this is not Noel and Bob's thing. This is a co-creation, and we just feel that we're appointed by Spirit to kind of be the facilitators. And so we have a team. Bob is the head of the team this year, working, not the head of it, but he's working with the team this year of weavers so everybody sends in what they would like to do, and then the planning team we call weavers, because then they weave it all together to bring the plan A.
And it's of a flow that sometimes flows the way we show up and sometimes flows differently, like Noel said. Well, I want to jump back on.
What's amazing is how sensitive everyone is to the field, because it really is like a plasma field of love that's created. And so if there's something incongruent, usually someone speaks up, and there's no problem with that. In fact, it's welcome to speak up, and then we shift it. So we might take a break, or we do a meditation, we get more centered. So there's people that are, it's like birthing a different that. I don't know why my camera just did that. Too much energy talking about plasma, I guess. Anyway, we're still on. So if we should probably, is Bob coming back? Okay.
Yeah, just the energy blew me right out of the picture. But when you were talking about that, Kathy, about the energy, the plasma energy in the field and how we adjust to it, I'll give a quick example of that. When the room that we usually meet in when we're inside has 4 pillars in the room, and when we have 35 to 40 people and we're all in circle, it fits nicely on those. One year we had like 55 or plus people, 60, and so it didn't fit in that circle. So for the first day and a half, there were times when the room arrangement, the seating arrangement, was one that seemed a little bit more like there was a front of the room, and it was 2 semicircles and whatnot. And it wasn't but a day and a half till people
Wouldn't
came
take that
forward to the
long.
Weavers and said, no, this is not the energy of what this community is. I don't care if there's a couple of poles in the way. We have to be in a circle, and we're in a circle the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a small example of how the adjustment takes place.
And I just want to also mention that there is no membership fee to be part of the Co-Creators Convergent. If you want to join our Facebook page, we welcome you there. We welcome postings. Kathy, you bring such beautiful shares to us. It's open to all. All you have to do, it is closed. And so I do, if somebody says they want to join, I do look at the profile to make sure that we're not having somebody selling sunglasses on our site. Okay. So, but it's open to all. There's no fee. And then this is our annual gathering. So we're very active on Facebook. We're very active with our once a month call, our once a year gathering, and
the website.
And our website.
And I should mention about the website also, we were talking about the third Thursday calls. We've been doing them since 2014, I think. Back then, I don't know if they were just audio calls.
They were just audio.
Yeah, and so for the last four years at least, there have been Zoom calls. All of our calls since 2014 are archived on the website. And I mean, you just thumb through the archives there and see the folks that have shared their Thursday evening with us. It's quite, actually in the beginning, we were doing them 2 times a month.
That's right.
And so it's really an amazing collection of people that are doing amazing things in the world.
Well, I want to let you know that Elsie said, hi, everyone in the car. You all look wonderful, but I can't hear a thing. We'll watch later. Hi to Jade and Barb. So you can see our family showed up here, but this is really, you'll once you go to the site, and I'll put the Facebook information here. Once you see what these pioneers really are doing, this is our new technology for going forward for working in group. And I just want to encourage you, if you feel drawn to it, to check it out and contact Noel and Bob or me. And I am so grateful that I'm a part of it. It's changed my life. It's really made a huge difference in my life. So I want to share that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you, everyone who's watching. You're all welcome. We hope to see you in Loveland.
Loveland, Colorado.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
Kathy.